I have a confession to make. I can't count the amount of times that I've had an idea, a crazy idea, and just immediately killed it in my brain. Not because it was a bad idea, but because I thought, what will people think? Sound familiar? We've all done it. We've all killed an idea before it could even be born, with friends, in school, at work, and the fascinating thing is that no one tells us to stop talking. We silence ourselves. We like to think that creativity dies from a lack of innovation, when in reality, it dies from a lack of courage. Courage to be different. So what I've come to talk to you today is about an invisible force that shapes our everyday lives and the way that we think. Conformity. I want to try something out, a little experiment. Don't worry, it won't hurt. I would like for you to all close your eyes. Okay. Now, without peeking or talking, I would like for you to show me with your hands what you think 26 times 2 is. Take your time. Okay. Now, while keeping your hands up, open your eyes. I'm seeing 52, I'm seeing 55, I'm seeing 57, 67. I'm seeing some people who didn't lift their hands up because they suddenly realized that maths is way too public. But you know what I also saw? Lots of you changed your answers. You adjusted your answer to match the rest of the group. And that is conformity. It's the literal reflex to fit in. Why do we do this? Why do we, intelligent and smart and confident people, choose to conform to other people's opinions, suddenly be... Why do we suddenly feel discomfort or discouraged when someone disagrees with us? Psychologists have been asking this question for years, and their answers, what they've found, is not only fascinating, but also quite terrifying. A very famous case experiment, demonstration for conformity, was performed by Solomon Asch in the 1950s. He invited a group of people into a room and asked them one simple question. Out of these 3 lines, which one is the same length as the one on the left? Easy question. A child could answer it. But here's the twist. Everyone else in that room was an actor, and they were all told to purposefully give the wrong answer. So what happened? 75% of the participants answered wrong on purpose to fit in with the group. They literally betrayed what their eyes told them because they thought that being accepted was much more important than being right. Here's where neuroscience makes this even more interesting. Brain imaging studies in Emory University, specifically made by Gregory Burns, a neuroscientist who specializes in decision-making, found that something very surprising happens in the brain when we choose to disagree with a group. The part of the brain that lights up isn't the one for guilt or embarrassment. It's the one for perceptual conflict, specifically the arterial cingulate cortex, which essentially detects when something is wrong or out of line. And there's the insula, which essentially generates that feeling of uncomfort and gut tension when we feel socially out of sync. So what are these results telling us? These results are telling us that our brain, literally perceives disagreeing the same as making a mistake. Not on a social level, on a neurological level. Your biology literally treats independence as a threat. And it gets even crazier. Further studies by Burns, in contrast to disagreeing with a group, when conforming to a group's opinion, another part of the brain lights up, the visual cortex, the part of the brain responsible for seeing. This, again, is essentially telling us that your brain literally will bend reality to match what other people are perceiving. Conformity keeps us safe, but it kills what makes us creative. Let me show you how this plays out in your real life, in situations you are familiar with. In education, for instance, you walk into a kindergarten classroom and you ask, who here's an artist? Every single hand goes up. You walk into a high school classroom and you ask the same question, silence. What happened in between? Well, we tend to teach our children there is one right answer, one right method, one right perception, and everything else is wrong. By the time these children grow up and become full-grown adults, they're not afraid of being incorrect, they're afraid of being judged. We grade conformity, not creativity. In corporate culture, have you ever been in a meeting and had this amazing creative idea and then suddenly somebody raises an eyebrow and that creative idea doesn't seem so great, fantastic, amazing anymore? Well, corporate brainstorming sessions are not brainstorming. They're polite rituals in which everyone waits for the safest option and circles around it until it dies of boredom. Corporations say they want creativity, that they want innovation, that they want new ideas, yet they reward predictability. In society, we live in a world where we can express our own ideas as long as they're identical to everyone else's. I mean, social media has become a digital courthouse in which every single deviation becomes punished severely within seconds. No wonder we hesitate. No wonder we hold back. Comfort is safe, but it removes what makes us creative. So, here's the paradox. We think that conformity helps us belong, when in reality, it makes us invisible. Humans don't connect with what is perfect. Humans connect with what is real, with what is authentic, with what is raw, with what is flawed, with what is human. So for you to completely ignore that creative part of you completely erases the one thing that would have made people notice you in the first place. Belonging isn't about sameness. Belonging is about recognition. It's about other people looking at the real you. So how do we break the cycle? The real question isn't, how do I avoid being seen? It's what parts of me deserve to be seen. To break this cycle, you don't have to make a giant gesture. You don't have to move to another country, quit your job, become a watercolor artist, move to Bali. No. Creativity starts with one small rebellion a day. Ask the question that everyone's secretly answering. Say the thing that you've been holding back all day because you thought it was too risky. Draw that idea, even if it turns out ugly. Suggest the alternative, even if your voice shakes. Do the thing that makes you feel slightly uncomfortable. Creativity isn't a gift, it's a muscle. Muscles grow under tension, not under comfort. We are one small, uncomfortable step away from having a much more creative life. So let me leave you with this. Tonight, before you try to dismiss an idea because it's too risky or too dangerous or too different, think to yourself, do I feel discomfort because the idea is bad or because the idea is mine? Comfort is safe, but creativity will set you free. Thank you.